Hi guys. So as you can tell, I'm doing something a little different today. I'm going to cosplay as either an old-timey barmaid or an old-timey pirate. I've yet to determine which. Either way, it is going to be a D&D inspired look, and I need to do a makeup look for that. So, I have my handy little mirror and my makeup stuff that's sitting beside me that I should have gathered before I started recording and did not. And we're going to do a makeup look today to go with this very interesting outfit that was actually for Halloween this year that I determined, you know what? I'm going to have fun with this. We're going to go ahead and do some form of a cosplay. And the next video you guys see me in, my hair will not be like this. I'm going to have red hair with black streaks because we're supposed to be dyeing my hair tonight. Hopefully. Okay. I need to gather makeup stuff. That's why I'm leaning this way. I need this. My foundation. Today I'm going to use my Giovanni USA Perfect Finishing Liquid. This is an old foundation, but I just haven't had it in me to go ahead and buy a new one because I don't know what matches my skin tone. So, that's what that comes down to. We're going to use my more natural of my bronzers. This is my mineral powder by RK by Kiss. And that's going to be my bronzer today. My setting powder is going to be my Maybelline New York setting powder. That is, again, really old and needs to be replaced, and I just haven't gotten to it. I'm going to use just my old sponge. I don't know where I got it. I think I bought it at Walmart. It works, you know? I work very budget friendly because I have to be budget friendly. I have my little blending brush for my cheeks, which is a Lexi 640 Pro Precision. I don't know how well y'all can see that. That's what it is. And various other brushes that, if it's got a name on it, I'll tell you. This is one of my Wet n Wild ones. I have a Harry Potter set, which will be for my eyeliner, or for my eyeshadow. This is a new color, and you guys will see what I use all of them for. This is just a brush. I'm not quite sure where I got this, but it works well. I'm gonna go ahead and pick my highlight. I have 3 options to choose from, and I think today we're going to go with my Wet n Wild highlighting powder. I don't know how well y'all can see that because I do have the window open to give me good lighting to do makeup in. We're going to use my older primer, which is a Magic Perfecting Base by L'Oreal again. And this is all like stuff at Walmart or stuff that I found cheap somewhere or that someone gave me. Most of this I bought for under 20 bucks. I'm going to use one of my LA Color mood sets. Let's go ahead and do it more. Well, I kind of want to do really colorful eyeliner, but I know that it doesn't fit the time period is the only reason I'm not going to. This is my most neutral, I think. It's a mix of browns, so I'm going to use this one. And then my setting spray is my e.l.f. setting spray. It's, again, old. Most of my products are old or bought at Walmart or something along those lines. Hold on, because I need to stand up and find the rest of my stuff. Yes, I am in a skirt. I might show y'all the outfit when I have finished the makeup. No, I still don't know how to use that. We're going to go ahead and use my triple shot mascara to make my eyelashes a little bit bigger, because I'm not blessed with eyelashes, I am blessed with eyebrows. This is a Harry Potter eyeshadow kit that my mom got me. at Hot Topic. I did order a new one, but it's not coming yet. This one is... Oh, this is one I couldn't figure out. I'm still working on figuring it out. But, yeah, I've not gotten it yet. I don't know what it does. I don't know. I'm working on it. But I got no... I got it to work! Okay, we're gonna use this today, which is a... I don't know what it is. We're gonna find out. Product reviews. Let's go ahead and use that. And something more naturally colored. And I haven't grabbed a blush. I do need to get more blushes, but I have one that I use. Okay, so this is a couple of random brushes that I'm going to use. This is an e.l.f. liquid eyeliner because I personally prefer liquid. This is what I use. I might try a crayon one day on camera, but I only have the one and I don't want to screw it up. This is my LA Colors blush in the color Mink because that fits my skin tone. And this is a matte lipstick by Cookie Professional in the Nude Peach, which hopefully matches me. Hold on, because I need to test this on my hand because I'm not quite sure what it is. Oh! This looks like a liquid highlight because it's really, really light, if y'all can see it. So either it's a liquid highlight or a liquid concealer that's in a stick form with its own brush. I'm not quite sure which of them it is. This is going to be its own product review video, I think, or it's going to be a product review when I get my next glam bag, but I don't know how to use this personally, and I don't want to screw up how it's supposed to be used on camera. So we're just going to go ahead and go with my Maybelline Cover Up in, for my skin tone, it is the sand color, because I am really light, if you can't tell. Yes, I'm climbing up on my bed on my knees in a skirt, because that is the only way that I'm going to get up here and get settled comfortably cross-legged. Okay. So, getting everything off of my mirror might be a good idea. I'm not going to know how I look until I'm done, pretty much, because I'm really blind without my glasses. And I have to do 90% of my makeup without my glasses. So, this is going to be a bit of a surprise for me when I'm finished. But we're going to try. Okay. This doesn't cover the best, I think because it's a little bit older makeup, so it's kind of deteriorating with age. But it is a foundation that I have found works and kind of matches my skin tone. I used to have a lighter one that I would mix with this shade that worked really well to make my skin tone because they don't have one that matches me exactly. But we make do. You know? I'm trying to not make a mess of this foundation. Wow. I have a big glob of it on my hand. So I don't think that would go well with, you know, white sheets. Yes, I'm the idiot who does makeup on top of white sheets. Yes, I call myself an idiot. Like, y'all, you gotta know when you've made a mistake. Or when you're doing something stupid. If you won't own up to your mistakes, I will call you out. If you're my friend and you ain't owning up to your mistakes, I will call you out. I've done it to my sister before. Like, y'all gotta know when you made a mistake. That's what that comes down to. You guys can't be too big of people to say, oh, I screwed up here, I need to go apologize. Or, oh, I was in the wrong here. You know? So just, I don't know if y'all can see what I'm doing, very well because I'm very blind. I'm hoping to get contacts eventually that match my eyeglass prescription. But cosplay-wise, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that, I don't think. So every cosplay character that I have is going to have brown eyes. And that is just what that comes down to. It is the unfortunateness of having to wear glasses. I am working on getting contacts though. My insurance just informed me that I am able to get contacts through them. So I'm going to try and do that for cosplay's sake. Amongst other things, you know, I'd like to be able to see when I go diving. And I can't currently because I can't wear my glasses and go diving because my mask likes to fill up with water. And I'm not trying to ruin my glasses with salt water. You know? So that's what that comes down to. I actually think I used a little bit too much foundation today. But that's simple enough because I'm going to wipe it down my neck and down my shoulders some. Because, yeah, this foundation doesn't match me the best. And besides, I can see areas I didn't apply it quite as well as I needed to. My cheeks is a big one. Never be afraid to waste a little bit of makeup when you're experimenting. That's what most of my makeup videos are. My tutorials, I've never done a single day in my life besides my day-to-day makeup. So this is all experimentations. Like this eyeshadow palette that I got for my birthday, I have yet to use. And so this is going to be an experimentation with that, you know? A lot of my makeup videos is experimentations. You guys can't be afraid to experiment with your looks. That's how you learn what you like and what you don't, and what looks good on you. You know? And yes, I'm aware that I am saying you know a lot. Just don't question it, because I don't know. I won't have an answer. Okay. You guys have any clue how hard it is to hold makeup and a mirror? As I will tell you, it is difficult. Right now I'm doing my concealer. And I'm concealing any blemishes, of which right now there's plenty. And I have like moles and stuff that are natural to me that I'm trying to cover up because they just don't look good when I'm trying to cosplay. I don't think. Others might disagree with me and tell me I look beautiful all the time, you know? But to me, I think it can never hurt to cover up a couple of these things. Because to me, I don't look that great. Okay, and there's the concealer on. Now, if I can get my hair out of the way and to stay out of the way, it is a struggle right now because I don't have it pulled back. But I'm going to try and blend out what I got on my face. Yes, there's lots of scrubbing over dabbing. I am aware that is not how most makeup people do it. That is the only way that I can find to get the makeup to spread, really. Like, you know, they'll tell you, just dab at it. that doesn't do anything. Not to me anyways. I've never seen it work personally. So I do things a little bit differently. And this is going to be handy later. Keep this out, because when you go to do your eyeliner, this is your eraser. Okay. Next up, we do basic face makeup. And I do this before I do setting powder. That's just a personal preference. But that is what I do. So first things first is we do our bronzer, for which I use my Wet n Wild brush. I find it works really well for that. Different people might disagree. You know what I grabbed out that I didn't use? My primer. Highly recommend using it. I'm just forgetful. Okay, here's my bronzer. And it depends upon what kind of look you're going for, depends upon how much you put. If you're going for a more bruised, older bruised kind of look, then you want to put a little bit more in a specific area, like along your jawline per se. And when you do bronzer, you do it from the top of your forehead down your chin, and then you suck in your cheek, and in the hollow of your cheek you put it. And that makes your cheeks look thinner. And this was all found through experimentation. I personally don't tend to watch YouTube tutorials or Instagram tutorials on how to do makeup, because I don't do makeup often enough to need those. But if you do your makeup pretty often and you want to look at these, then these are up for you guys. These are there for your guys' viewing to learn how to do these specific looks that I'm doing. And then the specific way that I do my makeup that I have found works. Because, you know, everyone's a little bit different on how makeup works for them. Different people, it might work different ways. If this doesn't work for you, I suggest finding someone else who does it a different way and seeing if that works for you. I just know what works for me. And then you blend a lot. And you blend up into your hairline. There's lots of blending involved in this. And I think I went a little bit heavy today. But your eraser is your best friend. And what did I say was your eraser? Your concealer. You don't want to put it on heavy. But if you put a little bit where you don't think there should be bronzer, or where you think you went a little bit heavy bronzer wise, don't put it on top of the bronzer where you think you went heavy. Just put it alongside of it. Then you will blend that out. And concealer does amazing things at covering up makeup. No, this was not an intentional mistake. Yes, I think it's good for you guys to know how to cover it up. And so I'm kind of glad I made the mistake. But it was not on purpose, just today I happened to be a little bit heavy-handed on the bronzer, so I had to fix that. And your sponge you're almost never done with. I just recommend keeping that out. Next thing I like to do is my blush, because it goes right on top of your bronzer, and then your highlight goes right on top of that. So I prefer to do it in that specific process for a reason. And this is my, well, hold on. Let me compare my brushes and remember which one's which. This is my powder brush. This I use for my blush. And I probably am going to drive people crazy with the way that I put this on. But hey, it works for me. You tap tap it in there until you're satisfied with how much is on the brush. Suck in your cheeks, and where you put your bronzer, you're going to go right above that. And then for highlight, you're going to go above that, right on top of your cheekbone. And if you want to do a little fairy look and go up and above your nose, you're free to do so. I don't tend to, but I know plenty of people who look cute doing that, you know. I just am not one of those. I tried it once, it didn't go well. I just looked like I had a fever. If you're going for a drunk pirate, it works very well. I don't know what happened with my accent there. Don't ask. And while you want to do bronzer downwards, I find you do blush and highlight upwards. And I am a little bit heavy-handed on the blush. I am aware of that fact. I'm heavy-handed because I wear glasses. And I don't want all of my hard work to be covered in my glasses. You don't need to be this heavy-handed. Unless you wear glasses, then I recommend being a little bit more heavy-handed in your blush. Because that's the way that I can get it to show with my glasses on. You know? If you find another way that works for you, that is perfectly fine, and I recommend you continue with that. And now your highlight. And your highlight goes on your cheekbones. And you don't need much of it. I always like a little bit more shimmer to my cheeks than most people do, so I tend to put a little bit extra on the brush. And right above where you just did your blush is where your highlight goes. Right along your cheekbone. And once you're satisfied with how much is on there, you will blend it out. So this thing is fun. It makes it look like there's not such harsh lines in between your bronzer and your blush and your highlight. Though your highlight, you don't need to blend very much. You don't want shimmery cheeks, you know? You just want the top of your cheeks to give a little bit extra shine. And I see some people who do this. And put a little bit on top of your nose. You're free to do that if you are one of those people. I don't want to draw attention to the tip of my nose. If you're confident in your nose, good for you, sweetie. Like, you can go ahead and show that off. I am not confident in my nose. I am not confident in most of my body. Today's cosplay is going to be a test of how much I have confidence. And for the most part, when you're blending in between your bronzer and your blush. And a little bit up into the highlight, and then right back down. It's just to give it a little bit less of an edge. And when you blend, you do circular motions. You don't want hard edges to anything, though. That's why you blend. And this is an awesome blending brush. I love this thing. I highly recommend it. I haven't had any problems with it yet. This is just to blend your cheeks, so that's all it is meant to do. And then you set that aside, and you get your powder brush and your powder. And this is the messiest part every time I do makeup since I got rid of my old bronzer. So I'm holding it off my bed to make sure I don't make a mess, because it has the tendency to want to do that. And I prefer to clean the cap out first, as it tends to have the least amount of powder in it. I just swirl it about in the cap, and most days that's plenty. And yeah, this is a little bit harder of a brush that I'm using. It's not the best brush for this, but it's what I have on hand, and so that's what I use. Today, that was not enough powder. So we're going to go ahead and tap it, and then tap it back against the edge of the container to make sure you don't have too much on the brush. And then finish off wherever it did not get covered. And that's powder. Now, at this point, you're more than halfway through your makeup, and if you're going for a fairly natural look, this is where I recommend you stop. But I'm gonna go ahead and do eyeliner. And there's a pretty neutral color palette on here, so I'm okay with doing eyeliner with this cosplay. I just need to figure out which of my brushes I'm using. And 2 out of 3 of the brushes that I use are not meant for this purpose, but it is the purpose I use them for. If you're not comfortable doing that, that's up to you. If you have other brushes and you can use them, then go ahead. I use this because it's got the nice round, wide tip, and I put it in my base color, which today is going to be this only non-shiny thing. This is the only non-glitter one on here, besides this super light one, and the super light one I have another use for. So I'm going to use this little bit darker one and go ahead and pick that up. And I'm sure that this is actually 2 color palettes in one. I'm just using it as one. And once you have enough on your brush, you do it everywhere, up to your eyebrows, down to the base of your face, to the base of your eyes. If you guys can see how I'm doing it. I did not have near enough, so I'm gonna get more. And I do my makeup a specific way because I am a monolid. I don't have that extra crease that y'all have. So it does take a little bit more makeup wise and a little bit more knowledge wise to know what to do. And once you have a base that you're pretty happy with, you'll start layering. Of course, you need to do this to both eyes, and you can see how dark and pigmented that is. I can see it on camera in comparison to the other eye. This is a very dark base that I'm using, and I'm going to lighten it with the colors I layer on top of it. But this would also be a good base, again, for like older bruises that are fading away. If I wanted to do an older bruise, I would just do, hold on, I'll show you guys on my arm. I would do this and just kind of fade it out slowly. And the center needs to be the darkest part of it, and then fade it out slowly. And blending it out will help, but I don't know how well y'all can see that. It now looks like I have a very faded bruise on my arm. If I don't want it to be quite that faded, then you do it a little bit darker. But this is a good way to do bruises that are not, black and blue. This is a good way to get older bruises that are slowly healing. And no, I've never done that before, but that is something that I've kind of picked up on that I've seen other cosplayers do when they need to do bruise makeup. And it looks like they use multiple browns. I don't have access to multiple browns. I have access to one brown and lots of glitter, and I'm not trying to make a bruise that's covered in glitter. So I make do with what I have. Right, next one is I'm gonna, no, it's this one. So this is actually an eyebrow brush that I use for my eyelids. I find it works well for the kind of makeup that I do, because the way I do my makeup is different than most people do theirs. On the very edge of my eye, I'm going to use this, and you'll see what I mean when I say the very edge of my eye, but I'm going to use this one. This kind of reddy brown that's sitting here. That's glittery. And yes, I'm more that didn't have glitter back then. I don't have eyeshadow that is brown that is glitter free right now. So this is what I'm working with. And the way that I do mine is about 3/4 of the way over from this corner, from the inside corner, 3/4 of the way across your eye. You draw a line, and then you fill it in with that color to the corner of your eye. Some days I do it a little bit closer in than others. Depends on what I feel that day. But I found that this brush works well for this. Today, with the kind of look that I am going for, I'm going to stick with my 3/4 over. And then wipe anything excess from underneath your eye. That is why you have setting powder. It helps so that you don't screw up your makeup as bad. It also makes it so you don't have a shiny face. And then you do the same to your other eye. And one eye is always going to turn out better than the other. It's just something I found. Depending upon what your dominant hand is, unless you are ambidextrous, one eye is always going to turn out better than the other, because one eye is always going to be an easier one to do than the other. And yes, I'm aware I am holding the mirror right in front of my face so you guys can't see what I'm doing. That is the only way I can see what I am doing, though. And I want to give you guys an accurate tutorial. One eye does not want to get the same shade, so pick up a little bit more if it's not quite to the shade that you want it to be, and fix away. And you will be blending this out later, so keep that in mind. That is my last step, is to blend. Okay? And when you're satisfied with how it looks on both of your eyes, you'll move on to the next step. And no, I don't do cuts. No, I don't cut any part of my video out. I think it's better to have an all-natural video that shows you from start to finish exactly what it'll do and how long it'll take, because that gives you a realistic idea of how long it takes to do this makeup, instead of, oh, the video is 10 minutes long, it'll only take me 10 minutes. And if you haven't perfected the way that I do my makeup, then of course it's going to take you a little bit longer than this. But this is a more so realistic idea of, oh, it's going to take me half an hour to do this. You know? Now, for the next part, I'm using the middle one, and we're going to cover our little brush. It's just a very thin brush, and we're going to do an eye, and we're going to do a line about halfway up our eye that we're going to fill in. Downwards. You're moving the makeup down towards the closed eyelid. And being a monolid, it does make it a little bit harder because you know you're going to miss some of your makeup, as it's not going to show as well because you are a monolid. So you have to have your eyes a specific way for specific parts of the makeup to show. And that is something you have to keep in mind if you are a monolid. It is more difficult to do makeup, especially eye makeups. But because this is a cosplay, I'm deciding to do it anyways because I don't quite know what I'm going to do videos wise for this yet, because I am going to post videos of me in full cosplay on TikTok today. And one of the videos is just going to be me showing off my cosplay because I got brand new boots and I am very happy with those boots. Okay, and once you're happy with that, this is where the blending comes in. And yes, you're blending before you're doing your lightest color. And I'll explain why in a minute. But you're going to take a brush, and this just happens to be the thickest brush that I own. So this is the brush that I use to blend out. It is again an eyebrow brush, but it is what I have on hand. Oh, you know what I didn't do is I didn't bronzer my nose. And I grabbed the brush for that. I've now lost. Oh well. I normally, when I do full face makeup, I will bronzer my nose and thin it out. And I have a tutorial where that I show how to do that. If you guys want to go and watch that. It's up to you guys. But you're going to go ahead and blend out your makeup. And you blend it because, again, you don't want those hard edges. No, never want hard edges in makeup because it's not natural. And that gives you a little bit more natural of a look if it's not a hard edge to your makeup. And then you're going to grab a very fine tip brush and your lightest shade that you're using that day. And I prefer the lightest shade I can find, whether that be a white or a yellow. And you're going to put it on the end of that brush. And now you can see why I did it up to my eyebrows. Because it doesn't matter. You're going to put this powder right under your eyebrows. And you're not blending it out. So it covers up the fact that there is makeup right under your eyebrows. So it does kind of highlight underneath of your eyebrows. And no, I don't do eyebrows. I am very blessed with the fact that I have very good natural eyebrows, so I don't have to. But this will help you highlight them after you've done your makeup. And then, with that same very light color that you just used under your eyebrows, it's going to go in the corner of your eye. And on the inside corner right here, you're going to put this color, the same very light tone. Because it lightens out that corner of your eye and it hides any mistakes that you made in that corner. Because that is a corner that I frequently tend to make mistakes. And so that hides it a bit better for me without having to use my eraser. And then if you want to, you can tap it out. That's up to you. But that's your eyes. Next, we're going to do mascara. Which some people are like, wait, you're doing mascara before eyeliner? That's my preference and the way that I do it. You guys are free to do it eyeliner before mascara. And this is very honestly only the second time I have used mascara. I don't use it. I don't see a point to it. but there is times where I use it, and today is one of those times. I happen to have a hair that got caught on my mascara brush. Lovely. I just hope it doesn't ruin the back of my shirt. And you'll notice my lips are really pale compared to the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna kind of fix that with my lipstick in a minute. Though it is a very natural look I'm going for. So I'm not trying to do a lot color-wise with my lips. Because as much as female pirates are fantasized and stuff in our current culture, very honestly, they didn't do makeup. They didn't have the access to it. Either you were blessed with really good looks, or you weren't. You know? And I was not. But I have makeup, so I take advantage of it. And now we're going to go on to eyeliner. And it's been a while since I've done liquid like this. And this does take a little bit to dry before you can move on to opening your eye and doing the other one. It does take a minute. And I'm just putting that there so it doesn't